Throwback Old School Thursday right here on Voice of the Caribbean. And I am so excited. First of all, welcome. If you're just finding me, yeah, you're in luck. I'm your hostess with the mostest. I come on every Thursday and Friday after Humble Lion. Big up Humble Lion with the easy vibes today. I really enjoyed it. Nice and mellow. There's so much news that you can use. We're going to talk about all of it. First of all, welcome. If you're new here, I give you a rundown of what's happening online, right? Social media trends, things that you might be following or you're not. I'm going to talk about the World Cup. First of all, the biggest story right now is what's up with all the beauty and exuberance of the African nations. Yes, big up Ghana. Ghana scoring its first ever goal. I want to shout them out so much, the Black Stars. And I've just been, I get chills watching all of the beauty that is around the world. It's almost like we forgot that the other beautiful countries exist and are doing their thing. But the World Cup right now in the United States, I think it's needed. And I'm so happy to see all of what is being posted. If you haven't been on social media, on TikTok, on X, on Instagram, what is really trending is all of the people from all over the world trying American foods, trying to fit into American culture, whether it's in Kansas City where their games are being played, whether it's in Houston, whether it's in LA. It's just a joy to see the reaction to who we are here in the United States and some of our customs, our food, the Walmart, the Costco. Trust me, some of those wonderful posts by our neighbors to the north, the Canadians. I guess the Canadians might be more used to it, but the British people, the Japanese people, all the people that are around the world here visiting for the World Cup are really enjoying American culture. Let's start there. I also want to highlight the New York Knicks. Yes, listen, I was very, very, very San Antonio Spurs. Okay, I'm not going to actually sugarcoat it. I said the Spurs in 7 and I was wrong. You're welcome. I was wrong. Your girl is still standing on business, but happening now is the parade. New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani presents the New York Knicks with keys to the city after their championship win. I have to give credit where credit is due. That's happening right now. I was watching some of the parade, even though I am a San Antonio Spurs fan. I'm not gonna lie. I was a Wemby girl. Wembanyama is my guy and the team, and I really enjoyed watching them. And I told you they brought me back to basketball. All the joy that I used to have watching the NBA, I got from watching these young Spurs kind of do their thing, even though they were not victorious. And it was the Knicks in 5. You guys were right. Okay. I was wrong. It's okay. I was wrong. I am going to tip my hat to Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and the whole crew for their victory after 53 years, right? So right now, if you wanted to get some highlights, I'm sure you'll see it across social media a little bit later. Their parade was off the chain. They did Champions Parade. They are now doing the more formal ceremony. And like I said, New York Mayor Mamdani just presented the New York Knicks with the keys to the city after their championship. Also, Juneteenth is tomorrow. I have so much to tell you about. There's quite a few Juneteenth events going on. I am so excited to report here first when it comes to the World Cup. We have seen the story of Cape Verde and their goalie, or Cabo Verde. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. Cabo Verde has been one of the highlights so far. Who have you enjoyed watching? Let me tell you, every chance I get, I turn on the TV and I just leave the soccer on in the background. But Cabo Verde's goalkeeper, right? One of the highlights so far of this year's World Cup, the goalkeeper, Vozinga. Vozinga is a 40-year-old professional soccer player who was literally just dropped from his team playing locally there in Cape Verde and was working as an electrician. Listen, it's never too late, y'all. You better use some of the inspiration I'm giving you. It's never too late working as an electrician when he was called up by the Cabo Verde, the Cape Verde national team. And in his first World Cup ever, he was able to hold off the great and mighty Spain. This man was ducking and diving and catching balls. No, pause, as the young people say, catching soccer balls and doing all kinds of things. Actually, it ended up being a 0-0 tie, but nonetheless, that was amazing for a little old country that is very low in the so-called, rankings of the World Cup to keep the mighty Spain to a 0-0 tie in their first match ever. Shout out to Vonzinga. And what is so interesting about him, since he has had this miraculous debut at the World Cup, on his Instagram alone, he went from 50,000 views, or excuse me, 50,000 subscribers, to now it is so crazy with how many millions now follow him. Yes, we got to talk about it. I want to welcome you. If you are just joining me, welcome. It is the Suzette Speaks show live here on Voice of the Caribbean. I come to you live every Thursday and Friday, my favorite day of the week, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I got to talk a little politics today too, y'all. We talking World Cup. Big up Vozinga from Cabo Verde, the 40-year-old goalkeeper who made a smashing international debut. But on top of that, we got some more great news to report here first. It looks like, because one of the parts of his story that tugs at my heart is that Vonzinga, after the game, after he was able to make stop after stop, shots on goal, and protect the goal on behalf of his home country, Cabo Verde, Cape Verde, off the coast of Africa. Tears welled up in this man's eyes. I can imagine when people say it's over, it's not over. But on top of that, he gave a speech after. And Vozinga says his mom was not able to come to the United States because they did not get the money for the visa for her to travel in time. So for those who don't know, certain countries, in order to enter the United States, you have to pay money. You have to pay big bucks. And unfortunately, for Cabo Verde, for Cape Verde, they have to pay up to $15,000 to enter the United States. Now, can you imagine how mommy feels as her son at 40 years old is taking on this huge new stage at the World Cup, along with his teammates stepping onto this stage? And he cried, saying his grandparents who raised him died a few years ago and were not able to see him, and that his mother, who he loves, was not able to travel because she could not afford, or they could not get the money in time to pay for the visa. But I have a news update. I see it online. I hope it's true that Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, the man from New York, the congressman from New York, has made some phone calls to Secretary of State Marco Rubio and others. And it is being reported, y'all, put your hands together, that Vozinga's mother, the Cape Verdean goalie who made his World Cup debut at the age of 40, started playing soccer at the age of 25, he says. Listen, it's not too late. Don't let people tell you what you can't do. At the age of 25, he started his professional career, who was just let go from his, as I said, local team in Cape Verde, was working as a electrician, and got the call up to come play for the national team. Let me tell you, have 50,000 Instagram followers. When I last checked it was well over 13 million now for Vozinga. And I was listening to some commentary about him, and Vozinga, people are saying, and I don't speak Portuguese. I'm not a Portuguese speaker. I speak a little Spanish. We got to do that for Miami. We have a little bit of Spanish, but they are saying that, and forgive me for any of my Curacao. Shout out to Curacao as well. Have you seen their team? When Curacao got off the bus, the island vibes. Listen, Haiti plays tomorrow, y'all. It's a Juneteenth tomorrow. Happy Juneteenth. Happy early Juneteenth. As we get ready to also tell you about the wonderful celebrations around South Florida for Juneteenth. I just saw that the city of Tamarack will be having one of the old school hip hop artists, Miss Chalet. You can say I'm nice. I can't sing. Sorry, my voice is gone. Why is my voice gone? Well, let me tell you about my night last night. I actually have a special guest that's going to be calling up in just a few minutes to talk about what happened last night. What had happened last night was that we, Voice of the Caribbean family, yours truly, Suzette Speaks, I was asked to moderate a candidates forum for one of the most crucial congressional districts in Florida. That is Congressional District 20. According to the redrawn maps by The Florida state legislature, all those who were elected in Tallahassee, they drew a map favoring the Republican Party. People will argue, it's unfair, but it is the map right now. 28 congressional seats, 28 total from Florida go to Washington, D.C. It used to be 20 favoring Republicans and 8 favoring Democrats. They wrote a new map, y'all. Now it's 24 leaning Republicans. I'm talking about the number of voters who are registered Republicans are much higher than the number of voters in that district that are registered Democrat. So now they have switched it and pushed it into one direction. And now there are only 4 remaining of the 28 congressional seats across Florida that are leaning more Democrat. Well, Congressional District 20, for the last 30 years, when it was first drawn in 1992, has been represented by a person of color, a black lawmaker, congressperson. Alcee Hastings was the first to hold that seat. He is now passed on the legacy to Sheila Shefferlis McCormick, who has since resigned. And this seat is now open for elections, and the primary will be August 18th. Well, honey, yours truly, Suzette Speaks, alongside my co-moderator from, he's an editorial writer, Doug Lyons, Mr. Douglas C. Lyons. We had to keep some order last night because the top contenders went head-to-head at the Urban League of Broward County. It was presented by the Urban League of Broward County alongside WDFL TV, that's Channel 18. It was broadcast on Channel 18. A lot of people ask me, Suzette, I did not see it. Where can I find it? Well, you can download their app, WDFL, and it's on there. Also, just want to put a pin in that as I continue to talk about what took place last night at the Urban League of Broward County and how over 300 people, standing room only. There were people waiting outside. You can see pictures on my page, Voice of the Caribbean page as well. Big up Mikey Mike, big up Renee. We saw Opal, as well as Tony in the building. And I thank you guys for the wonderful support Voice of the Caribbean family showed yesterday. But I will get to some of the substance. I'm going to have a special guest who was there with us. He's also running for office, but I'm asking him to come as a community leader, talk about what he learned from the forum. What did he think? Because I don't want you to just take my opinion for it. And he also has an organization. Why I'm really bringing him on is June is Men's Mental Health Month. Did you know that June is Men's Mental Health Month? We are going to talk about, especially for our men, especially for men in the Caribbean community, black men, men of color, we got to break the stigma. So I wanted him, especially today, to come on, not only to talk about the forum yesterday and his thoughts about what he saw among the top contenders for Congressional District 20. That is Broward County. Stand up, Broward County. You were in the building yesterday. You showed up. What a night. It was my pleasure to see democracy in action. It was my pleasure to hear and ask tough questions and to hear responses that would be directly heard by the voters. I was ecstatic to see, this is what democracy looks like. And again, it was a song fireworks. You can watch it. It's available on the app, on WDFL app. But we tried to keep it civil and we tried to make it substantive. Now, we did have a no-show. I'm going to put it out there. One of the candidates was missing. This is the race that features Vice Mayor and former Commissioner, former Mayor, let me get it right. Former Mayor of Broward County and former Commissioner of Broward County, Del Holness, went head-to-head with former Congresswoman Sheila Shefferlis McCormick, who was also running. Also on the stage was Republican Dr. Rod Joseph. I also had the pleasure of questioning Mr. Elijah Manley, and who was also running. It was capped off by the presence of Congresswoman who is switching districts to run against those who I've just mentioned, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Well, now she was taking a lot of heat yesterday. I would say the young politician, Mr. Elijah Manley, and community activist who's also in the race, was trying to go head to head with her. I had to calm it down a couple times. The young bull energy. He wanted all the smoke yesterday. Okay, we're going to talk about that with my special guest in the second half of the show. But I wanted to also recognize that, we need more visibility for what's happening on August 18th. And I'm just, again, ecstatic that last night was so successful. And I'm going to bring my special guest in the second half of the show to talk about it. Did you also know that today in Chicago is the opening of the Obama Presidential Center? If you don't know, all U.S. presidents, after they leave office, do typically open a presidential library, or as he's calling it, a presidential center. And right now it's happening live. I see performances by Jennifer Hudson, Christina Aguilera, John Legend. And right now on the stage, while this show is happening, right now live in Chicago, we're watching Common perform at the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. Why do I mention that? Because we just saw crazy comments made at the UFC spectacle that was at the White House over the weekend on Mr. Trump's birthday that he celebrated. Again, I say Mr. because it wasn't in his official capacity. It wasn't I don't even know how it worked. If it was a state event, it was a private event because it was on a pay-per-view kind of channel afterwards. You had to buy tickets, but it was on the White House South Lawn. So anyway, there were comments that went viral. I'll just mention them briefly, saying that I don't even want to talk about them. Let me just say it. You can look up the viral comments, but I don't want to even bring that energy. But bottom line is, trying to disparage Michelle Obama, however many years later, talking about her in a negative fashion. And I'm just so happy to see the images right now. You can tune in, it's on television, or later to see the clips of what's going on in Chicago and the immaculate Obama Presidential Center that is now going to be open. This is their grand opening day in Chicago. Basically, the Obama Presidential Library, star-studded event. First Lady, or forever First Lady, former First Lady Michelle Obama looking immaculate, if I do say so myself. President Obama also by her side as his presidential center is opening, and that is breaking news here. I do want to get back to some World Cup. Where are you guys going to watch the Haiti game? I'm going to be outside. Are you watching the Caribbean countries? Are you watching the African countries? I am. And as I said, breaking news here. Not Curacao, excuse me, Cape Verde's goalie, Vozinga. And his name apparently in Portuguese means little voice, Vozinga. Voice, like I'm trying to do the Latin phonetics, small voice. But I also read that, oh, look at Sasha Obama. Is that Sasha? Get it? Let me see who's coming on the stage for the, sorry, I'm watching the Obama Presidential Library opening, the Obama Center in Chicago. This will be the Obama's premier library after people step out of the president's Oval Office. They typically do open a library in their own hometown, right? It is kind of like an ode to their history, their legacy, filled with memorabilia, filled with artifacts. And the Obama Presidential Center is opening today. Soon to speak will be Barack and Michelle Obama at the opening of the Presidential Center. That is very big news. I also told you that Vozinga's, the Cabo Verdean goalkeeper, who has won the hearts of this year's World Cup so far, going hard in the paint, even though it's on the soccer field, for the Cabo Verdean team against Spain, allowing them to draw 0-0 with the fierce competitors, who is the Spanish team. And now we can report, and I'm seeing it all over social media, that Vozinga, not only has he gained millions of followers on Instagram, this 40-year-old dynamic goalie who proves age ain't but nothing but a number. Sometimes we get in our mind, especially in the Western culture, specifically here in the United States, this idea that, you're not supposed to be successful after a certain age, or that you should be, if you're not successful by 30, it's over for you, or pushing our mature and our elders aside, instead of, venerating them and respecting them for, the wisdom they've gained all through the years and everything that they've been through, and how they are probably better equipped in some aspects, to contribute to society, depending on what it is. Well, yeah. Vozinga, thank you for being that inspiration so far. There's some other great World Cup stories we'll touch on. But the breaking news with him is that apparently minority leader in the Congress, Hakeem Jeffries, has made some phone calls. And it looks like Vozinga's mother, after all, who, when asked about why he cried after the game, I think they play again on Sunday, Cape Verde, why he cried, he said his grandparents was not in, no longer alive, and not in the in the stadium with him in Atlanta while he made his World Cup debut and how much they had sacrificed for him and given him. And he also stated that his mother, coming from Cape Verde, they were not able to get the money together to pay for up to a $15,000 visa fee. I thought they were supposed to be waiving the fees for the people coming for the World Cup. Anyway, Hakeem Jeffries, the congressman from New York, the minority leader of the Democrats in Washington, D.C., in the United States House of Representatives, said he has made some phone calls to Marco Rubio, and it looks like, y'all, fingers crossed, send a prayer up. Vozinga, his mother, will be able to join him for the next game that Cabo Verde plays. I'm so excited about that. Look him up, y'all. Follow him. He's at 13 million plus followers. I want him to make some money, right? Sometimes when it's your time, it's your time. Don't give up. Also happening right now, Alicia Keys is taking the stage at the ceremony honoring the New York Knicks, the 2026 NBA championship win. I'm sure she's singing about New York, New York. Listen, I have to give respect where respect is due. Even though some people would argue, that the New York, did the Spurs lose the game or did New York win the game? Now, I will say that final game, Big Body Brunson, yeah, I have to give him his credit, right? The leader of the New York Knicks with 45 points, where the whole team scored 49 points together. 49, I think. He scored 45 of the total points, and the rest of the team scored 49. He showed up. Let me just be clear to put respect on his name. But some of the Spurs being, oh my God, what did you think about the NBA final, guys? It also bothered me, just the collapse of 20-point leads, collapse of, what was it, almost 29-point leads. Like, looking at Victor Wembanyama, I think the coaching staff has to go back to the drawing board with how they utilize him and what are, the finals. I don't know if they were too young to understand that you probably won't get back. And it's very difficult to get back. I do pray that the Spurs get another chance, another bite at the apple, but there's so much talent each and every year. And people are really striving, but they should hold their heads high to the San Antonio Spurs. But right now, the moment belongs to the New York Knicks. They are having a ticker tape parade and ceremony. The mayor of New York, Mamdani, is giving the New York Knicks teammates and team members keys to the city. They are having basically a press conference right now, happening live, as well as I'm telling you about First Lady Michelle Obama just taking the stage at the opening of the Obama Presidential Center happening. There's so much happening right now. But after I take my short break here, y'all welcome. The time now is 1:28. I'm going to have a special guest who's going to join me. He has a nonprofit, and I want to highlight that June is June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We got to talk about it. Our gentlemen are experiencing, stressors like never before. There's so much pressure on the shoulders of everybody, but particularly our men in society now. There are a lot of stressors. I'm going to talk to an incredible man who leads a nonprofit. I'm going to ask him about his reaction to yesterday's forum. Again, thank you to the Urban League of Broward County for having me. Myself, alongside Doug C. Lyons, Suzette Speaks here, truly was a moderator for a congressional forum like no other. I don't think Broward County has ever seen something like that. If I do say so myself, I'm getting feedback right now. I'm posting pictures right now. Follow me at Suzette Speaks on all platforms. You can take a look at what happened. If you missed it, WDFL is an app and you can download it and watch the stream. Don't go anywhere. My special guest joins me after this. More Suzette Speaks show right after this break.
The all-new voice of the Caribbean. Better sounding radio.
I don't want to get copywritten. I have, let me put this. Lixon. Lixon, you hear me? Oh, Lixon, can you hear me? Lixon, can you hear me? How are you? I was nervous. Yeah, we out here chatting it up. Yes, I appreciate you calling in. Tell me. I appreciate it. But so we're gonna talk about the forum, and we're not in a rush, so you don't have to rush. Tell me the website for your organization again. I'm just gonna bring it up here, just so I have it open. All right. So after this, we got about 2 minutes of commercials, and I'm gonna put you on hold. If I hang up by accident, just call back. It's not a big deal. And you're going to introduce yourself. Just to say community leader. We're not going to emphasize too much your run because then it becomes more promotional. But again, information about mental health, men's mental health, tips for men for mental health, that kind of thing. ACEs with an S, Miami.org. Okay, Miami.org. It's giving me a warning like it doesn't want me to go to the site. Okay, no, it goes. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to hear the commercials. If I hang up on you, please call back. And you can talk World Cup. You can talk Haiti. Are you excited about Haiti also going into the World Cup? Yay! Like I said, we have a little free reign today. So if it gets into the 20 minutes, it's not a big deal. All right, so Lixon, I'm gonna put you on hold. All right, just keep listening and you'll hear your introduction, okay? Thank you. Let me see if I can get you on the air and lock you in. Okay. I keep hanging up on guests. Let's not do that today. Shout out to everybody watching. Join me every Thursday and Friday right here, going live. I have a special guest. He's running for office. I'm going to plug him just because he's giving me his time today. He's not coming in his official capacity, but he's running in North Miami. Shout out to Lexon Nelson. But I ran into him yesterday. I was like, call into the show. And he was like, yeah, what do we want to talk about? And then I said, what would you want to talk about? And he said, men's mental health. He has an organization. I was just picking it up. Alliance Community Employment Services. Oh, yeah. I think he puts people who have developmental and disability challenges into jobs. Okay, I forgot about him. ACE's Alliance Community and Employment Services is committed to transforming the lives of individuals with disabilities and providing them with training. Oh, that's what's up. So I asked him to talk about the event last night. It was amazing, and to talk about what his organization does. He's running for office, but he's not going to be officially plugging his run. He's going to talk about instead. I want him to talk about men's mental health month. All right. So hit the like button, y'all. Glad you're joining me. Your girl is on a high. I'm so happy with everything that took place yesterday at the forum. I'm getting a lot of great feedback. Kept the folks on their toes. Why is this not doing this? Come on up. Good. And I get to do that. All right. So yeah, my voice is a little sore from yesterday, but I enjoyed the forum a lot. I kept them on their toes. I hope I don't lose him. Sometimes I hang up on people by accident. Hey, but we're not gonna hang up on nobody today. Praise God. We're not gonna do it. Hey.
Wealthy Jamaica. The money pull up in this.
I'm not.
August 7th, inside of First Impressions Ballroom, 5100 North State Road 7.
Here we go.
The voice of the Caribbean. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yes, welcome back. It's the Suzette Speaks Show. My special guest is on the line with me. I'm so grateful that he's here and is going to chat with me. He is a community advocate and the founder of a wonderful, wonderful organization called ACES. ACES Miami stands for Alliance for Community Employment Services. He's going to talk about what he does through his nonprofit, but I also wanted to get his reaction. Listen, Lixon Nelson is an amazing community advocate and leader, and I just wanted him to join us today on the Suzette Speaks Show for the first time, to talk about men's mental health. There's so much I want to talk to you about. Mr. Lixon Nelson, how are you?
I'm doing great, Suzette. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so excited. So I will go over your resume shortly, but I want to get your reaction. I was telling the audience that we did link up yesterday after the forum. I got to see my friend in the building. Over 300 people were at the Urban League of Broward County yesterday. Why? Because there was an incredible candidates forum for the individuals running for Congressional District 20 that now has basically all parts of Broward County and is a highly competitive district. It is a minority majority district. It has a majority of African Americans and Black people, Afro Caribbeans in that district, and there were five candidates on the stage vying for the vote of those who live in Congressional District 20. So we saw former mayor and Commissioner of Broward County, Dale Holness. We heard from former Congresswoman Sheila Shervlis McCorvin, who is also running back for the seat. We also heard from Republican Dr. I should say, Rod Joseph, as well as the other two candidates in attendance were advocate and community activist Mr. Elijah Manley, alongside Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was leaving her current district to put herself in this district to run. So there was some fireworks. There was a lot. I was trying to give people questions that were relevant to their life. We asked them about housing. We asked them about how they feel about qualified immunity. What can they do to bring down property insurance? I was going to ask, more tough questions, but we ran out of time. It was only an hour. But listen, let me get your reaction to last night's forum. What did you think?
Three letter word. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Please elaborate. Tell me, what did you find most interesting?
Like for me, I came to because I hear so much about how politics affects social service, and under this administration, there are so much changes for us non for profit. To see the individuals that are going to go to Congress and represent us, I was like, wow. I originally came from Mr. Luther Campbell because I follow his podcast and some of the things that he was talking about and being a fan of his and seeing his growth into the community, becoming a community leader, what he does with education, the children. I know more about his platform because it relates to the urban community, and I grew up also listening to his music. So to see his transition, so that's why I came.
Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, I just the same thing. I was just gonna make mention. Again, Mr. Luther Campbell was invited to the forum. Did confirm, according to the organizers, and they have receipts and emails from his team and his campaign indicating that he was going to be there, but he did not show up. So sadly, yes, like yourself, my as a moderator, I was looking forward to asking him some questions, but we did not hear directly from Mr. Campbell yesterday. But yeah, so many were disappointed by that. But nonetheless, so what did you think? Even though you came there to hear from Uncle Luke, what else did you learn anything? Did you pick up anything else about the other candidates?
Um, all the candidates had great points. I was sitting there, I couldn't take notes fast enough with the dyslexia. So I'm like, and plus they were being like Secret Service. You couldn't get in the room. People couldn't come in and out. So I'm like, I didn't want to pull out my recorder. But I got the audio thanks to the program people. But it was awesome, man. And then the young man, just to see a young advocate come up and how he was bold, firing off precise data, information, and the way his tone and his confidence.
Oh, you mean Elijah Manley? Oh, Elijah Manley came for all the smoke. Young man, young bull. He was on that stage. Woo!
He was very polite at the beginning. He respected your time out of everybody. He almost met your time almost perfectly.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah.
with no stuttering. So I'm not going to go on about him too much.
But he impressed you. You were like, oh, okay. All right, Mr. Manley.
Because I work with youth. I work with youth. So to see a young man that I'm older than, that I can learn something from, I could transition it into the social service world because I saw the points he was making in regards to the economics and to the urban community, how it's going to affect the urban community. But for me per se, he went too much into the urban, but I can understand his passion because he wants to look people in the eye and make sure he promised them that. Because young people, they're all about show me now.
Yeah.
Just to see that. And then transitioning Mr. Dale Holness, somebody that has experience, somebody that comes from business, growing himself into politics, being involved heavily in the Jamaican community, but extending himself to Africa, extending himself to the, to his reach, and being able to learn from him as an older person. I was in between. And then my Haitian brother came in, Dr. What's his name?
Rod Joseph. He impressed me too. I was like, listen to Mr. Rod Joseph, although, again, maybe a different political persuasion than the majority of the people in the district, he held his own.
I'm a big fan.
Ah.
And that's what I said. I was impressed because I did not know the lineup because I was coming from a business meeting. So when I saw him on the album, I sat up in my seat. He's been such an advocate of what's going on in Haiti. I don't want to transition too far. And hearing him and being able that he speaks English and he knows both backgrounds, I've just been a fan. And to see him, transition, and now he's in the politics, and he took on the Republican question that the way I would have took it on.
Yeah. No, I appreciate your feedback. Thank you. And yes, go ahead.
Talked about her. We all know she's been involved in the Afro-American community, the Hispanic community. We understand the work that she's put in, and the fight that she does within the disabled community, making sure education. So I've always been a fan, of hers. But when Mr. Elijah asked certain questions that caught me off guard, and maybe because I'm ignorant to politics and I should be more updated, I was like with Israel question. I didn't know how you posed it, but to see the look in her face and to see how Elijah was confident.
Yeah.
Gentleman, Dr. What's his name? My dyslexia, so I know this is a lot.
No, that's okay, Dr. Joseph. But what you saw and why you saw that too? No, I'm doing it's okay, and I can hear your passion, my brother. And that's why I wanted you on to talk about what happened at the debate and the political forum hosted by the Urban League and WDFL TV Channel 18. It was live on Channel 18. If you missed it, you can download the WDFL app. It was streamed there, and you can take a look for yourself. Because what Lixon, I wanted someone from a neutral point of view, clearly there for all these people. You didn't know their platforms, but the fact that you came away with some substantive assessment of each person is why we did what we did. And I'm so grateful that it did kind of put more on the table as far as how these candidates are looked at and what they might, what people might be thinking about. And that Israel question I put at the end, they didn't receive it beforehand. They had all of the questions beforehand. So I put it in there. Yeah, the last question I kept a question in the back pocket. Your girl is the hostess was the mostest. So, when I moderate, I like to keep them on their toes. If you're going to go to Washington, D.C. and represent us, you should be able to answer some questions off the cuff. You're not a baby. You have to be able to handle what's going on in Congress on behalf of 200,000 plus people. Let's go, So I said to them, everybody got on the stage kept talking about Alcee Hastings. And Alcee Hastings was my mentor and the legacy of Alcee Hastings. I said, Alcee Hastings was a very big supporter of Israel and its right to defend itself. So if you are following in the footsteps of Alcee Hastings, tell me how that squares with your take on U.S.-Israeli relations. And I think it was a very telling question because, like you said, the facial expressions, y'all watch it online, and the body language. And, I think it was telling a whole story, but we got to leave that there because I want to start talking to you about, and thank you, I'm here. Go ahead.
Out of respect for the other two candidates that was there, and thank you, Mr. Joseph, finishing up with him and understanding how he ties in his service background with and his growing up in both countries. To sum it up, that was very powerful. And Miss Sheila, my perception of her from the media to now hearing her speak, not having to go do more research because facts came out. Now I'm walking away as a voter thinking maybe a little different, of what was portrayed about her. But she hit some points that were very key to me. When she dropped disabilities a couple of times, that was very smart. And then how she defined it with the services for education, the money that she brought in for safety, and wow.
Yeah, we got to leave it there. I appreciate your feedback, Mr. Lixon Nelson, who is it's all good. I know we just have a short amount of time. That's why I want to make sure we get to June being black, oh no, not just black men's, but men's mental health month. We know there's a lot of stigma in our community about men and mental health, but life is very stressful and there's a pressure from all sides, whether you have a family or you don't have a family, but everyone has responsibilities. This is America, right? Bills due every month. Pressures from friends, pressures from parents and our circle and loneliness. Where do we start? Tell us about how you are observing June as Men's Mental Health Month.
Well, June Men's Mental Health Month started off great for me. Got invited to Circle of Brotherhood, and I was able to open up about my personal illness and how it affected my mental and emotional capacity in my body, and how I thought about suicide on two occasions.
Oh wow, wow.
With it, and hearing the other gentlemen talk about the lead organizer about mental health and suicide being a key thing that we don't talk about in the Afro American community.
Yeah, I want to stop you there. I just want to hit everybody. The time is now 1:47. Today's segment is brought to you by this gentleman, Mr. Lixon Nelson. He's the founder of Alliance Community Employment Services. I want to talk to you about that and what you do with your nonprofit organization as well. He's here just as a guest who I saw at the forum yesterday, and I was like, hey, why don't you call tomorrow since it's men's mental health? And he's like, oh, no, that's perfect. And talk about the forum and talk about what he does in the community because I think it's really important that men have resources. Just a note to our listeners, the Suzette Speaks show does not reflect the opinions of necessarily our management and our ownership here at Voice of the Caribbean. It's just the opinions of me, the host, my guests, and my callers. So listener discretion is advised. We're talking about some sensitive subject matter here today. Men's mental health, of course, is important. That's why we're taking this time to shed light on it right here on the Suzette Speaks show. So, Mr. Lixon Nelson, talk a little bit more about what advice you have, or since you've done forums and things like that, what should men be doing to protect their mental health, or what kind of advice can you give our listeners who are men out there busy, got a lot of pressure on their shoulders? What is some advice that you would have for them?
I will recommend that you have um, one a mentor that's older than you, because just of lived experiences of day to day things that average man go through. And I'll just keep it brief and short because of time. And then also a younger man, so you can mentor and pass on what you're learning from yourself and also from the older man per se, and just being able to process those emotions and those questions and being able to be present within those two moments.
That's good. That's really good. Getting somebody in your, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, getting somebody who is older than you so you can draw from their wisdom, and also mentoring someone. This is a piece that we also need to look at, giving back and pouring into somebody younger than us so you can share that wisdom. I'm here with Mr. Lixon Nelson. I'll just say it here, but I know he's not here in this capacity. He's running for North Miami mayor. I had no idea. No, I did. After last night and a couple of nights I've seen him at the different political events, but he is now in North Miami. Yes, yes, yes. That's okay. I appreciate. I'll say it. I'll say it because I just want people to know who you are. His organization, though, will pivot to that. Can be found at ACES Miami. Yeah, tell us what you do through your organization, Alliance Community Employment Services.
Yes, Alliance Community Employment Services is a non-for-profit disability program that assists individuals when it comes to education, employment, mental health services, life skills, a full wraparound services for social service. And we are also now, because of the community and my lived experiences, have expanded into mental health. And now we have professionals that I'm glad to say within my family that I was able to pull to see the vision of us giving back as a unit, and also bringing in new, fresh, young individuals to learn from. So ACEs now we have expanded. I won't go too far because of time's sake, but being out now and being recovered I realized that the impact of work that I did, I kind of took it for granted because I thought people didn't notice, but there were more people looking for me than I thought from the scene.
That's wonderful. What type of people does your organization serve and how can they contact you?
Well, my organization serves anybody that has physical, mental, or emotional disabilities. We do not discriminate with age, color, sex, religion, or anything of a social aspect that somebody feels that would prohibit them from attending our program. Because we are a federal funded program, we do not involve in politics. That's why I have to pivot from that question, even though you got.
Ah, I understand. You have to stay neutral with your organization.
Yes, because I have to protect the brand that has given so much to me and is doing such great work. But most of all, if I really have to say, it's now within my growth, knowing that I was given something to make sure to bless others. So I always got to keep my participants in the forefront, and I got to keep my colleagues, which I don't like to use the word staff, my colleagues second, and keep myself last. So that way, sometimes I have too much energy and I push the line a little too much.
Well, I appreciate you making the time today. We're just about out of time. If anyone wants to get in contact with you, if they know somebody who has a disability or they themselves has a disability and they're looking for employment or other economic empowerment, you guys are a source, the Alliance for Community Economic, excuse me, Alliance Community Employment Services, acesmiami.org, acesmiami.org. You can reach out to them for employment and disability consulting services. How can people get in contact with you? You want to leave a number as well?
Yes, yes. Our phone number, you can reach us at 786-357-1627. Our website is acesmiami.org. Aces as aces as in A as in apple, C as in cat, E as in Eric, S as in Sam, Miami.org. And now our social media, Instagram is aces.miami. Our Facebook is aces. And just reach out to Miss Suzette.
Ah, I appreciate you. I'm sorry, Mr. Liston. We're out of time for now, but we would love to have you back and talking more, whether it's about the community events or what you guys have going on at Alliance Community Empowerment Services. But I want to thank you, Mr. Lixon Nelson.
Community employment.
Oh, I keep saying, why I get that E?
Might put them all.
Sorry, Alliance.
Employment.
Alliance Community Employment Service. There we go. Thank you so much. And employment services. You got it. Thank you for your time, Ms. Elixir. And we shall talk again soon. Thank you for calling into the Suzette Speaks show and for being my special guest today. Thank you very much. And we have you too, darling. I appreciate him. I know he's taking some time out of his busy day just to update us with what's going on. It's I keep saying black men's. It's men's mental health month. June is men's mental health month. I plan to have some other special guests throughout the month as well to highlight men's mental health. We want our brothers to be healthy both inside and out. It's not just about physical health anymore. Everybody knows the pressures of life can really weigh you down. So we want to make the stigma go away. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get a mentor. It's okay to get a therapist. It's okay, right, to get in a support group. Sometimes people suffer in silence and they're struggling with all kind of, secrets and things like this that they want to break free from, whether it's food or gambling and other addictions. Trust me, you're not alone. You are not alone. So we want to make sure we're encouraging you through this platform to seek help and to make sure you know that there are resources just like the Alliance Community and Employment Services, ACES Miami, that we've highlighted today, and many more that are there for you, whether you're a part of the disability community or you just need some help. Make sure you reach out, right? Don't suffer in silence and do not think you are in this alone. I also want to just end with some highlights for the day. The temperature now in Miami, cross parts of Fort Lauderdale, 93 and 94 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms tomorrow. Looks like we're going to have a rainy afternoon and higher even chance of rain come the weekend on Saturday. So if you want to get it in, I'm glad. Hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow. Juneteenth celebrations. I'll be bringing you a list tomorrow of places that you can go to celebrate Juneteenth. I know I saw real quick, there's so many. City of Miramar doing something. Saw City of Tamarack has one old school block party at the Tamarack Village featuring Miss Chalet. Y'all remember old school Miss Chalet? Hey, okay. Let's go, millennials and others who remember that hip hop queen. She will be featured. I saw North Miami, several other cities around, and organizations will be celebrating Juneteenth tomorrow. So let's take some time to celebrate Juneteenth. Also, wanted to just remember that there are also two big events, I think, making the biggest, news right now. In case you are too busy to pay attention, I'm here for you at the Suzette Speaks show. World Cup. I saw that England just won their game 4-2. Big up the Brits who are visiting and all the other wonderful countries and their fans who are visiting. But remember, tomorrow is the big Juneteenth holiday. America celebrates Juneteenth, and we're going to highlight that tomorrow. Also, be advised that the Obama Presidential Center is in full swing. Obama's presidential library, what he's calling the Presidential Center, is opening right now. There's live television coverage on several channels, and we'll update you with that. It looks like Sting is on the stage. Oh my gosh, Sting just took the stage for the Presidential Center opening in Chicago. Of course, I'll end with the New York Knicks are marching down Broadway. Yes, the New York Knicks, the 2026 NBA champions. Yes, and I got to give it up to them. Even though, once again, your girl's not a bandwagonist. Your girl was or is a Spurs fan. Shout out to the Spurs as well for a wonderful, wonderful season. But again, we have to tip our hat to the New York Knicks. They are live right now in New York City, receiving keys to the city from the mayor, as well as a ticker tape parade and other wonderful events and block party that's surrounding their big win. They have been doing an incredible tour, media tour. Saw them on late night with Jimmy Fallon and Good Morning America. Poor OG. One of the Knicks players, OG Anunoby, looked like he was falling asleep, okay, on Good Morning America. But that's really what's viral. And I want to end with a positive note. We are still hopeful that the Cape Verdean goalie's mother, if you have not been watching the World Cup, one of the biggest stories so far has been Cabo Verde. This island archipelago nation, I've been reading that Cape Verde or Cabo Verde is made up of 10 islands. It's an island chain actually off the coast of Africa. And this is their World Cup debut. And a 40-year-old goalie has stolen the hearts of World Cup fans internationally, going from 50,000 to over 13 million Instagram followers due to his incredible debut where he held Spain goalless, right? No goals, stopping goal after goal after goal at the age of 40. And we have good news that it looks like, fingers crossed, his mother will get a visa to come watch her son play in the World Cup. Come on, United States, we can do it. Thank you, Hakeem Jeffries and whoever else put together the efforts to getting his mother a visa. Because listen, who wouldn't want to see their child play in the World Cup? That's what it's about, bringing the country together. And I would advise, watch some of these World Cup clips of the fans who are trying American food, trying American stores. They're going to gas stations. They're being impressed by Costco. They can't believe you can get TVs, furniture, as well as your groceries together, and the never-ending aisles at Walmart. Things that we take for granted, they actually find quite impressive. So a lot of the fan reactions to the United States has been gold as far as social media if you need something to watch. But anyway, that's my time. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the Suzette Speaks show. I come to you live right here on Voice of the Caribbean every Thursday and Friday. I'll be back tomorrow. Happy Juneteenth. Happy early Juneteenth from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Thanks for listening. I got Lisa B up next. Have a great afternoon.
Better sounding radio.
W245BC, Lauderdale Lakes, 96.9 FM, the all-new voice of the
Caribbean.
WLYF, 101.5 FM, HD2 Miami. Simulcasting on 96.9 FM, the voice of the Caribbean. WLYF, HD2 Miami, 101.5